It's road trip time, and we are heading to Southern California. Our destination is the Joshua Tree National Park, and it's 460 odd miles from my place in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, what we have is two to maybe three charging stops. I'm not going to optimize it beyond a point, but drive and stop by the pleasure of the journey. It's also been raining these days, and the weather would be a factor to look out for. We have charged to 100% as is customary for long road trips and as our LFP battery permits. The first stop recommended is at the Harris Ranch Tesla location, also called the Coalinga Supercharger. It's projected 31% in state of charge on arrival, and that's very high. I actually think it will come down to the mid 20s in real, with the highway speed that's actually 10 over and the weather. Let's see. There's still a high state of charge, but it will permit me to skip Kettleman City and go straight to Mohave, which is the next recommended stop. I'll keep sharing the changes as and how I find necessary, but trying to keep things as simple as possible. My preferred stops for food are also a consideration and may change things. In any case, I will update you with the same here. So let's get started. The Joshua Tree National Park, located in southeastern California, is a vast desert wilderness renowned for its unique Joshua trees, which are actually a type of a yucca plant. Spanning over 790,000 acres, the park covers two distinct desert ecosystems, the Mojave and the Colorado Desert. Known for its rugged rock formations, star-filled night skies, and diverse wildlife, the park offers opportunities for hiking, rock climbing, camping, and stargazing. It's a haven for nature enthusiasts and photographers, with iconic sites like the Hidden Valley, Keys View, and the Skull Rock. The park is open year round, attracting visitors for its beauty and landscapes. To those new to EVs, preconditioning the battery is when the battery is heated or cooled to its optimal operating temperature to maximize performance, efficiency, and charging speed. Lithium-ion batteries charge fastest when they are within an ideal temperature range, usually around 20 to 40 degrees Celsius, or what would that be? Around 70 to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. If the battery is too cold or too hot, the charging rate can slow significantly to protect the battery. With a Tesla, when you navigate to a fast charging station using the car's navigation system, the vehicle automatically starts preconditioning the battery. That is, heating or cooling it during the drive so that it's within the right temperature range. There are other OEMs that have a manual option for this as well. At times, and depending on the external conditions, the battery can heat to a required temperature, can also cool and need heating based on where one is driving, or may simply not heat enough in colder temperatures. When on a Tesla, pay attention to the messages that the infotainment puts out, which are fairly explanatory. There are apps that bring more data, and the Tesla service mode presents useful information on this. But for the most part, you don't need to bother about this and allow the Tesla route planner to handle it for you. Normally, here in California, my battery is at 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and preconditioning it takes it to a little over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a basement garage and things can be different outside. Battery preconditioning is important for a good DC charging session. It's about 10:20 and we left at 7:15. We stopped for about 20 to 25 minutes on the way here, just on the other side of this supercharger, and we have done 152 miles in the approximately 2.5 hours to 2 hours 45 minutes. We have reached the Coalinga supercharger at 23%, and these chargers are largely rated for 350 amps, as most level 3 superchargers are, with the sensitivities of the cables to the heat. It's fine by me as the Model 3 peaks at 170 kilowatts. This should be a 30-minute stop. I'll charge hop or charge just enough to reach the next one, and that way I'll have some optimization. Also need to account for the elevation and weather. There is no shortfall of stalls here, and that's surprising given that it's Thanksgiving week, but it's also a large location with over 50 stalls. The Model 3 with the LFP has a peak DC rate of 170 kilowatts, which it hits almost instantly in the first couple of minutes and holds it for a few seconds. It tapers thereafter but very gradually, adding roughly 35 to 40 kilowatt hours in about 20 to 30 minutes. A loud shout to the Batman Cybertruck with its black paint protection film. I bet it's struggling to draw enough power for its 800 volt drive system. It's around 30 minutes and we have charged from 23% to 95%, adding roughly 40 kilowatt hours of energy. We started at 100% this morning, so have not quite replenished all the expended energy. But that's just enough power to reach Mohave at a comfortable state of charge, roughly in the teens. So let's plug out and move. The route planner says that we'll make it to one of the superchargers at Mohave at around 15% in state of charge. That's fairly high and I would have liked it to be lower in single digits. But with this battery in mind, it should be all good. We are also going to gain significant elevation, so that's a good cushion. We've done 315 miles since we left home and 163 miles since we left Coalinga. That was 2 hours and 35 minutes since the last stop, and we have arrived at 15% in state of charge. We charged to 81% and added 36.6 kilowatt hours in total energy in about 25 minutes. We arrived at 1:25 pm at this location in Mohave and charged until 1:50 pm. That should be enough to help us get to our final destination at the Joshua Tree Park, or roughly another 150 miles. We have an 8 kilowatt level 2 charger awaiting us that's perfect for a full charge overnight. DC charging is to be used sparingly to the minimum extent required. That's enough charge to reach my final destination, and it's time to plug out. At 81%, it's projecting 14% on arrival at the final destination. So that was very easy, and the total journey added up to 467 miles or 747 kilometers. We arrived at 7% in state of charge and plugged all night to charge back to the full 100%. That last segment was 152 miles and consumed 3 hours and 45 minutes, including an hour's break at bar stove. Besides being at a low state of charge when arriving at DC chargers, it's also important to combine the regular trip breaks like food etc. with the stops. That saves valuable time, and remember, gas cars are still quicker on long trips. And minutes saved is just some more comfort. Though I did none of that on this trip. Tesla's route planning is fairly conservative, and I see starting with it as a base, but generally optimizing to reduce stops eventually. As is well known by now, it's all really easy in a Tesla. Even in the previous gen rear-wheel drive Model 3 like this one, which has the smallest of a battery than any on offer currently. To put it in perspective, you trust the route planner if nothing else. You can play with it by adding stops as far as it allows you to reach in as low a state of charge as you find comfortable. Allow the route planner to precondition the battery as is automatic in a Tesla, and charge only as much as needed to reach the next stop. My Tesla peaks at 170 kilowatts, and so the version of the supercharger is of little consequence. They are all good. The charging posts are in plenty, and it's all easy. If you'd like to view my earliest of impressions of the Volkswagen ID.Buzz, you can check the video linked here. See you in the next one.